What's going on, everybody? So here I am. I finally removed the timing cover off the car. Okay, and one thing I noticed was if anyone's ever changed their water pump before, you're gonna see that this is the cover that goes in the water pump, right? Just like that. If you notice on the bottom of this cover, there's a little point, an arrow. Let me see if I can zoom in there. I'm using a Sony Bloggy, so sometimes it acts good, sometimes it doesn't. You can see the little arrow right there on the bottom. Well, it just so happens I'm learning timing on this vehicle as I go, so just bear with me. Might be saying some things that for you might seem like, well, duh, Ramon. That's what we've been doing for a long time. But, you know, this video is specifically for those that don't know, so cut me a little slack. Okay, so you see the crank pulley has these marks, right? Well, this mark right here, that groove right there, is top dead center on compression stroke, according to what I was reading. So the way you want to do this is I actually had to put my cover back on to test to see if I was at top dead center. So what I ended up doing after doing the screwdriver trick is I wanted to see how close I was. So I put the timing chain cover back on and put this to cover the water pump. Now what you're going to do is you're going to want to line up the line on the water pump cover with the crank pulley. Okay, so you get in there with your 19 bolt and you'll turn until, mind you, the timing cover has to be back on the vehicle until it's lining up with the crank pulley. And that's the way it's going to look when it's on the car, right there. You want it to line up, okay? So you want to get as close as you can, and that's the way you want it. So when the crank pulley's on the car, and the timing chain cover is on, the water pump cover is on, you want it to line up like that, and that's top dead center. So that's a nice, easy way to make sure that you're at top dead center. So I was actually off about, I say, a quarter of an inch doing the extension trick that I had showed you earlier. Like I said, this isn't the most accurate, so what I did is I did this, and then when I got to the top, I decided to throw the timing cover back on the car, throw the water pump cover back on the timing chain cover, and see how far I was off from top dead center. So now I'm perfectly on top dead center, and just kind of looking around to see how far off I am on the chain. It looks like the timing belt jumped a lot of teeth. So you can see here where the chain is, the gold one, which is right there in the middle. You see how it's colored a little differently? Well, that chain is supposed to be right in that groove right there. See where the circle's kind of dented in? That's where that's supposed to be, but it's not. So my next thing that I'm going to do is, now that I got top dead center, is I'm going to remove the timing belt tensioner, all the guides,